Hello Texas voter! The purpose of this video is to encourage you to vote in the upcoming election and help you learn how you can do that. Here's who and what you'll be voting for. Who represents you in local, state, and US government? Among the choices are two major political parties, Republicans and Democrats. Republicans stand for limited government and tend to lean conservative on major issues. Republicans support free market capitalism and restrictions on labor unions, social conservative policies, and traditional values. Democrats stand for protecting social programs, labor unions, racial equality, and regulation against pollution of the environment. Democrats also support abortion rights and same-sex marriage, as well as citizenship for undocumented immigrants. Before you can go to votetexas.gov and find your sample ballot. On this ballot, you're able to see everything you're going to be able to vote for and research candidates and ballot measures ahead of time. You can even print one out ahead of time and take it with you to the polls to make sure you remember how you want to vote. I highly recommend that as it's super helpful. You can early vote as opposed to on election day to avoid the crowds, which can be considerable on election day. Another benefit of voting early is that you can vote at any polling location during early voting. Be sure you find your polling station below if you'll be voting on election day. All polling locations are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Texas law requires an employer to provide an employee with paid time off to vote if the employee does not have 2 consecutive hours outside their scheduled work hours in which to vote while polls are open. When you go to vote, you'll walk in, hand the volunteer your ID, and walk to a booth that looks like this, where a ballot will appear on the screen. The overall process of voting is simple and only takes about 5 to 10 minutes, not including the wait in line. Whether you vote early or on November 6th, you need to bring with you an acceptable form of identification and optionally your voter registration card. Acceptable IDs include driver's license, personal DPS issued ID card, military ID, passport, election ID certificate, citizenship certificate, Texas handgun license. If you don't possess one of these forms of ID, it's okay. You may be able to bring in one of the following as long as you sign a reasonable impediment declaration. Republicans currently make up the majority of seats in the House of Representatives and Senate on a federal level, but also on a state level. It's very important that the people who represent you in government share your beliefs. Currently, Congress consists of 80% white people and 80% males. Our country is rich in people of color and from all different backgrounds, but the majority of people that vote are white senior citizens. Here's why it's important for you to vote. Your elected officials make laws about everything: your home, the food you eat, the air you breathe, who you choose to love, how much money you make, your health, how you get around, how you learn, the land around you, your friends and family, and your overall quality of life. Wouldn't it be great if our government was representative of us? That's why we need you to represent your voice. Please, go vote November 6th.